Welcome to Read and Learn English. Today, we are going to talk about something that can truly change your life: the 5 rules rich people live by. This video is not just about money, it is about mindset, freedom, and the way we think about success. Many people spend their whole lives chasing money. They work harder and harder, but still feel tired, trapped, and unhappy. They believe that money will fix everything, but it never does. Because the truth is, money alone is not the answer. Have you ever seen people who look rich on the outside, but deep down, they are full of stress and worry? They buy expensive things, take nice photos, and try to show others that they are successful. But at night, they cannot sleep. They worry about bills, debts, and the future. On the other hand, there are people who live quietly, simply, and calmly. They don't show off, but they are free. They have time for their family, peace in their hearts, and money working for them, not against them. That is the big difference. Poor people work for money. Rich people make money work for them. This video is about that secret difference, the mindset that separates the two. You will learn 5 powerful rules that rich people follow every day. These rules are not about luck or magic. They are about thinking smarter, not just working harder. Every rich person you see today started with a small step, a small change in thinking, and you can do the same. As you listen, remember, this is not only about becoming rich in money, it is also about becoming rich in time, knowledge, and freedom. You will learn how to use money as a tool, how to create income that never sleeps, how to value time more than things, how to learn before you earn, and how to play the long game of life. So, stay with me until the end. Each part of this journey will open your eyes and help you see money in a new way. By the time you finish this video, you will understand that the real power is not in your wallet, it's in your mind. Let's begin. Section 1. Money is a tool, not a god. Many people dream about having more money. They believe that money will solve all their problems and make them happy forever. They think, if I just earn more, everything will be fine. But this is not true. Money can make life easier, but it cannot give meaning or peace. Rich people understand this secret very well. They do not worship money, they use it. They see money as a tool, like a hammer or a key. It is something that helps them build freedom, open new doors, and create choices. Let's look at 2 people to understand this better. The first person loves to show off. Each time he gets paid, he buys expensive clothes, shoes, and phones. He wants others to think he is rich. He smiles for photos, but inside, he feels stressed. He has no savings, no investments, and no plan for tomorrow. He works long hours, but his money disappears quickly. He is not free. He is trapped. Now meet the second person. She earns the same amount of money, maybe even less. But she thinks differently. She spends carefully, learns about money, and invests in herself. She buys books instead of luxury bags. She takes courses, learns new skills, and saves for opportunities. Slowly, she starts her small business from home, selling handmade products online. At first, it grows slowly, but after some time, her business brings her steady income. Now, she can choose when to work, spend time with family, and plan her days with freedom. Can you see the difference? The first person serves money. The second person uses money. One lives for looks, the other lives for freedom. This is the first big rule rich people live by. Money is a tool, not a god. When you worship money, you lose control. You start making emotional decisions, buying what you don't need, following trends, and comparing yourself to others. But when you see money as a tool, you start making smart decisions. You begin to ask, how can this money help me grow? How can I use it to create a better life? Imagine you have a small amount of money, let's say $100. You can either spend it all on a nice dinner or use it to learn a new skill. One choice gives you pleasure for one night. The other gives you knowledge for a lifetime. The dinner is gone tomorrow, but the skill can bring you more opportunities, more confidence, and maybe even more income in the future. This is how rich people think. They look at money as a way to build freedom, not just comfort. Money is powerful because it gives choices. With money, you can choose where to live, what to learn, and how to spend your time. You can travel, explore the world, and experience new things. You can also help your family, support your community, and give back to people in need. But here is something very important. Money by itself is not happiness. It can buy comfort, but not love. It can buy entertainment, but not peace. True happiness comes when you control money, not when money controls you. It is when you can say, I have enough. I am free. I can live my life by choice, not by fear. That is what rich people understand deeply. They are not slaves to their income or their lifestyle. They use money to design a life they love, full of purpose, time, and freedom. Let's go back to the story of the woman who built her small business. In the beginning, she didn't have much, but she used her little savings wisely. Instead of spending on things to impress others, she invested in herself. She learned marketing, improved her products, and built strong relationships with her customers. After a year, her business grew. She no longer needed to work long hours in her old job. She bought back her time, the most valuable thing money can give. This is what real wealth looks like. It's not about showing off. It's about showing up for your life. It's about using money to live with peace and purpose. When you understand this, everything changes. You stop chasing money and start building it wisely. So, if you want to think like rich people, start by changing your relationship with money. Don't fear it, don't worship it, learn how to use it. Every time you spend, save, or invest, ask yourself one question. Is this helping me create freedom? If the answer is yes, it's a good use. If the answer is no, think twice. Remember this simple truth. Money can be your servant or your master. You must choose. When it is your servant, it works for you, helping you live better, learn more, and give more. But when it becomes your master, it controls your mind, your choices, and your peace. In the next part, we will go deeper into how rich people make money flow instead of letting it disappear. Because once you understand how to use money, the next step is learning how to make it grow, not just by working harder, but by creating cash flow that never stops. Section 2. Focus on cash flow, not just salary. Most people believe that a big salary means success. They think that if they can just earn more money each month, they will be rich. But rich people think in a very different way. They do not focus only on how much money they earn. They focus on how much money flows in and stays in. This is called cash flow. Cash flow is money that continues to come in, even when you are not working. It is the secret that helps rich people grow their wealth and buy their freedom. Let's understand this idea through the story of two friends. Both of them studied together and started working after college. The first friend got a high-paying job in a big company. He was very proud of his large salary. Every month, he spent money on expensive clothes, new phones, and fancy dinners. He loved to show people how successful he was. But at the end of each month, he had nothing left. He worked hard, but his money always disappeared. The second friend had a smaller salary. He didn't earn as much, but he was smart with his money. Each month, he saved a little. He didn't buy luxury items. Instead, he started learning about investing and business. He began a small online shop selling handmade items. At first, it made only a small profit, but he kept improving, kept learning, and after some time, that business started to bring money every month, even when he was sleeping. Slowly, his cash flow grew. Now, after a few years, the first friend is still working long hours. He earns a lot, but spends a lot too. He feels tired and stressed. The second friend, on the other hand, has more freedom. His online shop earns money daily. He also bought a small apartment and rents it out. That rent gives him income every month. Now, even if he stops working for a few days, his money keeps coming in. That is cash flow. Can you see the difference? One works for money, the other makes money work for him. This is the secret of the rich. They focus on creating cash flow, not just collecting paychecks. Cash flow means building systems that bring money to you again and again. It can come from many places: a small business, rent, investments, or even digital products like ebooks or online courses. It doesn't have to be big at the start. Even a small amount each month can grow over time. The key is to start early and stay consistent. Let's make this simple. Imagine your salary is like a bucket of water. Each month, you fill it up when you get paid. But there are holes in the bucket: bills, food, rent, shopping, entertainment. If you keep spending everything, your bucket will always be empty. Cash flow is like adding a small tap that keeps filling the bucket automatically. It gives you peace of mind because money keeps coming in, even when you are not pouring it in yourself. Many people spend money to look rich. They buy things to impress others. But rich people spend money to stay rich. They invest in things that bring money back. They ask themselves before every purchase, will this make me richer or poorer? If it makes them richer, they buy it. If it makes them poorer, they wait. Let's think of another example. Imagine you have $500. You can use it to buy a new phone, or you can use it to start something small, maybe sell handmade products online, or take a short course on how to build a website. The phone will lose value over time, but the skill or business can grow and earn you money again and again. That is the difference between spending and investing. Rich people understand that cash flow gives freedom. They don't want to depend on one salary or one job. They want to build many streams of income, because if one stream stops, others can still flow. That is how they stay safe, even when times are hard. If you want to start building cash flow, begin small. Save a little each month. Learn about how money works. Read books or watch videos about investing. Look for simple business ideas that match your skills. It could be anything: selling digital art, teaching a skill online, or offering a small service. What matters is that you start. At first, it will seem slow. You might earn only a few dollars, but as you grow, your confidence will grow too. Over time, those small streams will join together into a river. That river will bring peace, freedom, and options. Remember this: don't work harder for money. Make money work harder for you. You don't have to be born rich to build wealth. You just need to learn how to create systems that bring money in while you sleep. This is what every successful person does. They focus on building flow, not chasing paychecks. When your money begins to work for you, your life starts to change. You don't wake up with fear anymore. You have more time to think, to rest, and to do what you love. Because true wealth is not only about money, it's about time, peace, and freedom. And that is where the next rule comes in. Once you learn how to make money flow, you must also learn how to buy back your time. Because time, not money, is the most valuable thing in life. Section 3. Buy time, not things. Many people believe that having more things means living a better life. They work hard to buy the newest phone, a bigger car, or the latest fashion. But even with all those things, they feel tired and empty. They have everything, except time. They are so busy working to pay for the life they built that they have no time left to enjoy it. This is one of the biggest mistakes people make. Rich people understand something very different. Time is more valuable than money. They don't just spend money, they use it to buy time. Let's look at two people to understand this better. The first person is always busy. He works long hours every day. He owns a big house, drives a fancy car, and has the newest gadgets. From the outside, it looks like he has everything. But inside, he feels exhausted. He leaves home early in the morning and comes back late at night. He misses family dinners, birthdays, and small moments of life. His child once asked him to play, but he said, "Maybe tomorrow." That tomorrow never came. His life is full of things, but empty of time. Now, let's see the second person. She doesn't have a luxury car or a huge house. She lives simply, but she is free. She built small systems that earn her money even when she's not working. Maybe an online business, maybe investments, maybe a small team helping her. She spends her mornings reading with her kids, takes long walks, and still has time to work on her dreams. She feels calm because she controls her time. She may have less in her hands, but she has more in her heart. That is the difference between buying things and buying time. The first makes you look rich. The second makes you live rich. Time is the real currency of life. Once it's gone, you can never buy it back. You can always earn more money, but you can never earn more time. That's why rich people think carefully before they spend. They ask, will this give me more time or take my time away? For example, imagine you buy an expensive car that requires high payments every month. You might have to work longer hours to pay for it. That means less time for family, less time for rest, and less time for your dreams. But if you use that same money to invest in something that brings income, you could work less and spend more time living. The car takes your time. The investment gives it back. Rich people use money to free themselves from daily tasks that waste their time. They hire help to clean their homes, cook meals, or manage small jobs. They use technology to automate work so things can run even when they're away. They build teams and systems instead of trying to do everything alone. Every smart decision they make is guided by one goal: to create more time freedom. Think about this. If you earn $10 per hour, and you can pay someone $5 per hour to do a task. You just bought back your time for $5. You can use that time to learn something new, rest your mind, or build your business. That's how rich people grow. They focus on doing valuable work and let others or systems handle the rest. But most people do the opposite. They spend all their time working for money, then use that money to buy things that cost even more time. They clean, fix, and maintain what they bought, the car, the house, the gadgets, and still feel trapped. They don't own their things own them. If you want real freedom, start asking yourself before every purchase, will this give me more time or take my time away? That question can change your life. When you stop buying to impress and start buying to progress, you will see a big difference. Buying time means creating space to live. It gives you time to rest, think, learn, and dream. When you have time, you can grow new ideas, build relationships, and take care of your health. You can explore new opportunities that were impossible when you were always busy. Remember, life is not measured by how many things you own, but by how much time you have to enjoy the things that truly matter. It's not about having a closet full of clothes, but about having evenings free to walk with your loved ones. It's not about the number of zeros in your bank account, but about how many sunsets you get to see without rushing. So, how can you start buying time? Begin small. Cut down on things that don't add value. Learn to say no to things that steal your time. Use your money wisely. Invest it in tools, education, and systems that make your life easier. Every smart choice you make today adds minutes, hours, and even years to your future. Think about it this way. Money can buy comfort, but only time can buy peace. And peace is priceless. The richest people in the world are not those with the most things, but those with the most time to live the life they love. So, the next time you feel the urge to buy something, pause and ask yourself, will this help me live freely, or will it take away my time? The answer will guide you to true wealth. And once you start valuing your time, the next question becomes clear. How do you make sure you use that time wisely? The answer is simple. You must learn before you earn. Because when you use your time to learn, every minute becomes more valuable. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. Section 4. Learn before you earn. Many people want success fast. They want to earn a lot of money quickly, buy a car, travel, and live the dream. But most of them make one big mistake. They chase money before learning how money works. They want the reward before the knowledge. That's why they often end up losing what they earn. The truth is simple. If you want to grow rich and stay rich, you must learn before you earn. Let's look at two young men who started with the same dream, to become successful. The first one wanted fast success. He saw people on social media showing off luxury cars and expensive watches. He thought, I can do that too. He jumped into a business he didn't understand, took loans, and spent money he didn't have. For a short time, he made good money. But when things went wrong, he had no idea how to fix them. He didn't understand cash flow, marketing, or customers. Within a year, everything fell apart. He lost not just his money, but also his confidence. The second young man took a different path. He also dreamed of success, but he decided to learn first. He read books about business, watched educational videos, and listened to mentors. He studied how money moves and how successful people think. For 2 years, he earned little. His friends laughed and said, "You're wasting time. Look at others. They're already making money." But he didn't stop. He kept learning. When he finally started his business, he knew what he was doing. He understood risks, planned carefully, and grew slowly but surely. After a few years, he was not only rich but also wise. His success lasted because it was built on knowledge. This story teaches an important lesson. If you learn first, success follows you. If you chase money first, it runs away. Learning is the foundation of every lasting achievement. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you don't know how to manage it, it will disappear. Many people win the lottery or suddenly make a big profit, but soon they're broke again. Why? Because they didn't learn how to handle success. They didn't build the mindset or skills to keep it. Rich people know that knowledge is the best investment. Money can be lost, but what you learn stays with you forever. When we say learning, it doesn't just mean school or university. Education is not about degrees or certificates. It's about developing wisdom and understanding how the world works. It's learning about money, communication, problem solving, and discipline. It's learning about yourself, your habits, emotions, and strengths. Rich people are students of life. They read books that expand their thinking. They take online courses to improve their skills. They listen to mentors who have already succeeded. They don't stop learning just because they finished school. In fact, that's when their real education begins. You can start small. Read one book every month about business, self-growth, or personal finance. If you can't buy books, borrow them or listen to free audiobooks. Watch educational videos every day, even for just 15 minutes. Listen to podcasts on your way to work. Follow people who teach, not those who only show off their lifestyle. Learning doesn't have to be expensive. It just has to be consistent. Remember, every bit of knowledge adds a new tool to your life. When you know more, you make better decisions. You see opportunities others miss. You avoid mistakes that waste time and money. Most importantly, learning gives you confidence. You stop depending on luck and start creating your own path. Let's be honest. Chasing money feels exciting at first. You want quick results. You want to prove yourself. But fast success often burns out just as fast. It's like building a house on sand. It looks strong, but one wave can destroy it. Learning builds the foundation. It's slower, but once it's strong, no storm can shake it. Think of your mind as a garden. If you plant seeds of learning every day, you will grow fruits of success later. But if you ignore it, weeds of ignorance will take over. The best time to start learning is now. Even one new skill, like communication, time management, or financial literacy, can change your life completely. Learning before earning also saves you from emotional mistakes. When you know how money works, you don't panic when you lose some. You don't fall for scams. You don't get jealous of others. You stay calm, focused, and patient. That's why rich people seem so confident. Their confidence comes from knowledge. Sometimes people say, "I don't have time to learn." But that's like saying, "I'm too busy driving to stop for gas." If you don't stop to learn, you will soon run out of energy and direction. Learning is not a waste of time. It's what gives your time meaning. Ask yourself, How much did you learn this month that can make you grow next month? Did you watch something educational? Did you read something useful? Did you practice a new skill? If not, start today. The more you learn, the more doors open for you. When you invest money, it can multiply. But when you invest knowledge, it multiplies you. It changes how you think, how you act, and how you see the world. That's what makes you unstoppable. So don't rush for quick money. Build yourself first. Learn, grow, and prepare. Because when the right opportunity comes, you'll be ready to grab it, not just once, but again and again. And here's the beautiful part. Smart learners always think long-term. They don't just focus on this month's earnings. They plan for years ahead. They understand that wealth is not about luck, but about vision, patience, and wise decisions. And that brings us to the next truth. If you truly want to stay successful, you must think long-term. Because while money can come and go, the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. Section 5. Play long-term games. Success is not a race. It's a long journey, a marathon, not a sprint. Many people forget this truth. They want to win fast, earn fast, and shine fast. But real wealth, real growth, and real peace take time. Rich people understand this deeply. They don't rush. They play long-term games. Think about planting a tree. When you put the seed in the ground, nothing happens the next day. You water it, care for it, and wait. Weeks go by. Still no fruit. Some people give up, thinking it's useless. But the wise one keeps going, believing that the roots are growing underground, even if the eyes can't see them. Then one day, a small sprout appears. Years later, that tree gives shade, fruit, and beauty. The same is true for success. You can't force it to grow overnight. You must trust the process. Let's look at the story of one man who lived by this rule. He started a small business selling handmade bags. In the first year, he sold very few. Most people laughed and said, "You'll never make it." He felt discouraged but didn't quit. He studied, improved his designs, and learned about marketing. Year after year, he faced many failures. Sometimes he couldn't even pay rent, but every mistake taught him something new. After 7 long years, his products finally became popular. Big stores started calling him. Today, his brand is known around the world. People say, "He's lucky." But they never saw the years of hard work, patience, and quiet belief behind that luck. Now, let's compare 2 types of thinkers. The short-term thinker wants quick results. They look for get-rich-quick ideas, buy expensive things to look successful, and quit when things get hard. They want the fruit, but not the watering. The long-term thinker understands that small progress every day builds great success over time. They stay consistent even when no one is watching. They are not chasing approval. They are building their future. Short-term thinking is like running after butterflies. You keep chasing, but they keep flying away. Long-term thinking is like planting flowers that attract butterflies naturally. Instead of chasing results, you create the conditions for success to come to you. Many people make the mistake of looking for fast rewards. They want to lose weight in a week, learn a skill in a day, or build wealth in a month. But everything valuable in life takes time. Muscles need training. Relationships need trust. Money needs patience. You cannot rush nature, and you cannot rush success. There's a famous saying, "Don't look for results in weeks. Look for change in years." That's how rich people think. They make plans not for the weekend, but for the decade. They know that real success is built brick by brick, habit by habit, day by day. Think about this. If you improve just 1% every day, by the end of 1 year, you'll be 37 times better than when you started. That's the power of small, steady steps. It may look slow at first, but small efforts grow faster than you can imagine. Maybe right now, you feel like nothing is changing. You're saving little by little, learning slowly, or working hard without big rewards. But trust me, every small action counts. The people who win in life are not the fastest or the smartest. They are the ones who don't give up. Long-term thinking also gives you emotional strength. When you think short-term, every failure feels like the end. You say, "It didn't work," and stop trying. But when you think long-term, you understand that failure is part of the journey. You say, "It didn't work yet," and keep going. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Let's imagine two friends again. One starts trading online, hoping to double his money fast. He wins a little, then loses everything. Frustrated, he quits. The other starts slow, learning, studying, investing small amounts, and growing his knowledge. After 5 years, he becomes an expert and earns consistent income. Who is smarter? The one who played the long-term game. The problem with our world today is that everything feels fast. Fast internet, fast food, fast results. But true success is still slow-cooked. The people who build lasting wealth know how to wait. They understand that patience is not doing nothing. It's doing the right thing again and again until it works. So, ask yourself, are you chasing quick wins or building lasting success? When you buy something, learn something, or work on something, think long-term. Will this decision help you 5 years from now? Or will it only make you feel good today? If you start saving today, even a little, your future self will thank you. If you start learning today, your skills will open doors later. Every smart choice you make today plants a seed for tomorrow. Rich people don't wait for perfect timing. They start planting now. When you look at your life, think of it like a garden. Each small habit is a seed. Reading, saving, exercising, learning. They all grow into strong trees that give you freedom later. Don't dig up your seeds just because you can't see results yet. Keep watering them with patience, faith, and action. It's okay to move slow. Slow is steady. Steady becomes strong. Strong becomes successful. The world may not notice your progress today, but one day your results will speak louder than words. Playing the long-term game is not just about money. It's about peace, purpose, and mastery. When you focus on long-term growth, you stop comparing yourself to others. You find happiness in your own journey. You understand that time is your best friend, not your enemy. And this brings us to the most important part of all, mindset. Because behind every rich person, every wise investor, and every long-term thinker, there is one powerful thing guiding them: the right way of thinking. The next section will show you how mindset is the real engine that drives all these rules, and how changing your mind can change your entire life. Section 6, the mindset difference. Everything starts in the mind. Every dream, every decision, every change begins with a single thought. That is why rich people focus on building the right mindset before they build anything else. The truth is, two people can have the same job, the same income, even the same opportunities. Yet their lives can turn out completely different. The difference is not luck, it's mindset. Let's imagine two workers in the same office. Every morning, they sit side by side, doing the same kind of work. The first one complains every day. He says, "This job is boring. My boss is unfair. Nothing ever changes." He waits for Friday and counts down the hours until the weekend. He spends all his money as soon as he gets paid, buying small pleasures to escape his stress. The second worker thinks differently. He says, "I can learn from this job. I can use my time here to grow." After work, instead of watching TV or scrolling through his phone, he spends an hour learning a new skill online. He starts a small side project, something that could become an extra source of income. In the same office, with the same salary, one worker stays stuck, and the other moves forward. Why? Because one is a victim, and the other is a creator. One focuses on problems, the other focuses on possibilities. This is the power of mindset. Your outer world follows your inner world. If you fill your mind with fear, you create a life full of limits. But if you fill your mind with confidence and belief, you create a life full of opportunities. Rich people don't wait for perfect conditions. They believe in taking small steps, learning along the way, and trusting that effort brings results. Poor people often say, "I can't do it." Rich people ask, "How can I do it?" That small change in thinking opens doors. Think of fear versus confidence. Fear says, "What if I fail?" Confidence says, "What if I succeed?" Fear keeps you frozen. Confidence makes you move. Both voices live inside us. You just have to choose which one you listen to. Every successful person you know has felt fear, but they acted anyway. They learned that courage is not the absence of fear. It's moving forward, even when fear is loud. Another big mindset difference is how people see money. Poor thinking says, "I will spend this because I deserve it." Rich thinking says, "I will invest this because my future deserves it." One spends to feel good for a moment. The other invests to feel secure for a lifetime. This doesn't mean you should never enjoy life. It means you must think before you spend. Ask yourself, is this helping my future or hurting it? Mindset also shapes how people deal with mistakes. Poor thinking says, "It's not my fault. Life is unfair. The system is bad." Rich thinking says, "It's my life. I take responsibility." When you take responsibility, you take power. The moment you stop blaming others, you begin to change your story. Every rich person started at a point where things were difficult. The difference is, they looked for solutions instead of excuses. Let's go back to our two workers. A year passes. The one who complained still has the same job and the same worries. The one who learned now earns extra money from his small online business. His life isn't perfect, but it's growing. He feels more confident, more free, more alive. The world around him didn't change, he did. And that change began in his mind. There's a saying, your thoughts create your world. It's true. What you think every day becomes what you do every day. And what you do every day becomes who you are. If you think small, you live small. If you think big, you grow big. But remember, mindset is not magic. It's not just positive thinking. It's a decision to look for lessons instead of losses, and possibilities instead of problems. If you want to change your life, start by changing your thoughts. Replace "I can't" with "I can learn." Replace "I'm stuck" with "I'm starting." Replace "I failed" with "I'm growing." These small sentences can transform your energy, your actions, and your future. Let's make it practical. Every morning, tell yourself one powerful truth. I am capable of learning something new today. When you face a challenge, don't say, "Why me?" Say, "What can I learn from this?" This simple shift turns pain into power. You stop running from your problems and start growing through them. Rich people feed their minds with books, knowledge, and strong beliefs. They know that mindset is like a muscle. If you train it every day, it becomes stronger. They don't waste time complaining about things they can't control. They use their time to build what they can control. Let's compare again. Poor thinking says, "I'll be happy when I have money." Rich thinking says, "I'll build the right habits, and the money will come." Poor thinking sees only today. Rich thinking sees tomorrow. Poor thinking looks for comfort. Rich thinking looks for growth. Changing your mindset doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means you become stronger than your challenges. It means when life pushes you down, you don't give up. You rise higher. That's what all rich and successful people do. They understand that before you earn, you must learn, and before you grow, you must believe. So, take a moment to reflect. How do you talk to yourself each day? Do your thoughts lift you up or pull you down? If your inner voice is negative, quiet it with action. Start doing small things that prove you are capable. Learning a skill, saving a little, finishing what you start. Each small victory will train your mind to believe more in yourself. Mindset is the seed of every result. If you plant fear, you grow limits. If you plant belief, you grow possibilities. And just like a garden, your mind needs daily care, positivity, patience, and persistence. But mindset alone is not enough. You can think strong, dream big, and believe deeply. But without action, nothing changes. The next step is to turn your mindset into habits that move you forward every single day. Because a strong mind without strong habits is like a car with no fuel. It looks powerful, but it goes nowhere. In the next section, we'll explore how daily habits shape your destiny and how rich people use them to stay focused, disciplined, and free. Section 7. Build smart habits. Dreams are beautiful, but dreams alone are not enough. Everyone dreams of success, but only a few people build the habits that make success real. Rich people understand this truth. They don't just wish for a better life, they build systems for it. They know that success doesn't come from what you do once in a while. It comes from what you do every day. Let's start with a simple truth. Habits shape your future. The small things you do daily, even the ones that seem unimportant, slowly build your life. Just like bricks make a house, habits make your destiny. Poor people often wait for motivation to act. They say, "I'll start when I feel ready." But rich people don't wait to feel ready. They create routines that make them ready. Imagine two friends again. Both want to save money. The first one says, "I'll save when I earn more." The second one says, "I'll start with what I have." So, he begins by saving just $1 every day. At first, it seems like nothing. But a year later, he looks at his savings and realizes he has built discipline. The habit of saving became stronger than the habit of spending. The small amount didn't change his life, but the habit did. Later, when he earns more, saving becomes easy and natural. This is the secret. Small habits create big results. Rich people build systems around their goals. If they want to learn, they schedule reading time every day. If they want to grow wealth, they track expenses, plan budgets, and invest regularly. They don't rely on luck or feelings. They create routines that make success automatic. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't think about it anymore, you just do it. Now let's look at contrast. Poor habits are emotional. Smart habits are logical. Poor habits say, I feel like buying this. I deserve it. Smart habits ask, do I really need this? Will it help my future? Poor habits focus on pleasure right now. Smart habits focus on peace later. Poor habits are loud and exciting. Smart habits are quiet but powerful. For example, think about the habit of reading. One person spends an hour every night scrolling through social media. Another spends that same hour reading a book about business or self-improvement. After a year, one has wasted hundreds of hours. The other has gained knowledge, ideas, and confidence. That is the power of habit. It decides who you become without you even noticing. Building smart habits doesn't mean you must change everything at once. In fact, that's the mistake most people make. They try to do too much too fast and then give up. The best way to grow is to start small. One small change done every day is more powerful than one big change done once. Start with something easy. Read 10 minutes a day, save a little money each week, or write your goals every morning. Here's a simple trick rich people use. It's called habit stacking. It means linking a new habit to an old one. For example, if you drink coffee every morning, use that time to read one page of a book. If you brush your teeth every night, think of one thing you learned that day. If you check your phone, take a moment to check your savings too. When you attach a new habit to an old one, your brain learns it faster. Over time, it becomes natural. Let me tell you a short story. There was a young woman who always said, I'm bad with money. She spent almost everything she earned. One day, she decided to change one small habit. She would track every expense. Each night, she wrote down what she spent. At first, it felt boring, but after 2 weeks, she noticed patterns. She realized she spent too much on things she didn't need. So she began cutting those costs and saving a little each week. Months later, she had built a small emergency fund. That gave her peace. That peace gave her confidence. And that confidence gave her the strength to start learning about investing. All this happened because of one small habit. Habits are like invisible tools. You don't see their power at first, but they quietly shape your life behind the scenes. When your habits are weak, you lose focus, waste time, and stay stuck. When your habits are strong, you move forward even on bad days. That's why rich people trust their systems more than their emotions. They know that feelings change, but habits keep you going. Ask yourself, what are the small habits that control your life today? Are they helping you grow or holding you back? Every time you repeat a habit, you are voting for the person you want to become. If you want to be fit, every walk is a vote for health. If you want to be rich, every dollar saved is a vote for wealth. Every habit is a silent decision about your future. Start by choosing one area, maybe learning, saving, or improving your communication. Build a small habit there. Keep it simple and repeat it every day. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Over time, your small daily actions will create big, permanent change. Remember this: Success is not about doing great things sometimes. It's about doing small, smart things every time. Even when you're tired, even when no one is watching, even when results are slow, keep going. That's how habits become part of who you are. When you master your habits, you master your direction. Because habits create discipline, and discipline creates results. Every rich person in the world knows that. They may not be the smartest or the luckiest, but they are the most consistent. And this leads us to the next rule, the heart of success itself: discipline. Because without discipline, even the best habits fall apart. In the next section, we'll see how discipline becomes your greatest power, the bridge between your goals and your results. Section 8. The power of discipline. Motivation feels good, but it is short-lived. One day you feel excited, full of energy, ready to conquer the world. The next day, that energy disappears. Motivation can start a journey, but it cannot finish it. That is why every rich person knows a simple truth: discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation makes you start. Discipline keeps you going. Let me tell you a story. There was a young man who wanted freedom. He wanted to travel, learn, and live without worry. But he didn't have money or experience. Most people would say it's impossible. But he believed in discipline. Every morning, he woke up early, even when he was tired. He worked hard at his job, learning everything he could. Every day, he saved a small portion of his income, even when he wanted to spend it on fun things. Every night, he studied, reading books, watching educational videos, and learning new skills. At first, it was not easy. He felt exhausted. Friends laughed, saying, "Why do you work so hard for so little?" Sometimes he wanted to quit, to sleep longer, or to buy the things he wanted instead of saving. But he kept going. That is discipline, doing what is right, even when you do not feel like it. Years went by. The small efforts he made every day added up. The money he saved grew. The skills he learned opened doors. Opportunities appeared, not because of luck, but because he had shown up again and again. Slowly, he built the life he dreamed of. He had freedom, time to spend with family, money to explore, and the confidence to face challenges. He did not achieve it overnight. He achieved it because he was disciplined. Discipline is the bridge between goals and results. Without it, even the best plans fail. Rich people do not wait to feel like working. They show up consistently. They know that life rewards consistency more than talent. One day of discipline may not change your life. 1 week may not either. But 1 year, 10 years, that is when small daily actions compound into massive results. Contrast this with people who rely only on motivation. They start strong, but when life gets hard, they stop. They give up after the first challenge. They chase excitement, not consistency. Their dreams remain just dreams. They feel frustrated, always waiting for energy that never lasts. Discipline, on the other hand, is steady. It does not depend on feelings. It depends on action. Discipline also means making choices that serve your long-term goals instead of short-term pleasure. It is choosing to save rather than spend, to learn rather than scroll on your phone, to work when you are tired rather than rest too long. Every choice builds a stronger habit. Every habit strengthens your discipline. Slowly, you become unstoppable because your actions are no longer random. They are guided by purpose. Think about freedom. Many people imagine freedom as a sudden moment, winning the lottery, getting a promotion, or finding a shortcut to success. But true freedom is built slowly. It is built by showing up every day, making smart choices, and keeping promises to yourself. Freedom is not an accident. It is the result of years of consistent discipline. Let's return to our young man. He could have chosen the easy path many times. He could have slept in, spent money carelessly, or ignored learning. But he didn't. Each time he chose the harder but better option, he strengthened his mind and habits. Each small decision added up. Eventually, he looked back and realized that his life had completely changed. The person he once was, tired, unsure, and limited, no longer existed. Discipline had transformed him. Here's another way to see it. Motivation is like firecrackers. They explode brightly, give a moment of energy, then disappear. Discipline is like a steady flame. It burns quietly but continuously, lighting your path day after day, year after year. That steady flame is what builds lasting success, relationships, and freedom. Discipline also creates confidence. When you follow through on what you say you will do, even when it is difficult, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. That trust grows into self-respect, and self-respect grows into the courage to take bigger steps. Every successful person you admire has this invisible foundation, the confidence that comes from showing up consistently. Remember this: life is full of distractions, temptations, and challenges. It is easy to give up. But if you want the life others dream of, you must do what others won't. You must wake up early when it is comfortable to sleep. You must study when it is easier to watch TV. You must save when it is tempting to spend. You must act even when you don't feel like it. Discipline is not punishment. It is freedom. It may feel hard at first, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes. It is like training a muscle. At first, lifting a weight is difficult, but after weeks of practice, your strength grows, and what seemed impossible becomes easy. The same happens with discipline. Every rule we've discussed so far, using money wisely, focusing on cash flow, buying time, learning first, thinking long-term, building smart habits, they all depend on discipline. Without discipline, knowledge remains unused, money is wasted, and opportunities are lost. Discipline turns strategy into results. And here is the important truth. Once you master discipline, you gain power not just over money or success, but over your life. You can choose your priorities, control your habits, and shape your future. You no longer react to the world. You create your world. Now that you understand discipline and its power, the final rule becomes clear. True wealth is not only about money, habits, or freedom. It is also about giving back, creating value, and making a positive impact. Because the richest life is the one that improves not only your life, but also the lives of others. The next rule will show how giving and creating value completes the journey to real wealth. Section 9. Create value and help others. True wealth is not just about money, possessions, or freedom. The richest people know that real success comes when you create value and help others. They focus on solving problems, improving lives, and making the world better. That is what separates someone who is temporarily rich from someone who is truly successful. Let me tell you a story. There was a young person with a simple idea. They noticed that many people in their town struggled to find affordable, healthy food. Instead of complaining or thinking about quick profit, they decided to help. They started a small business, a tiny shop selling fresh fruits and vegetables at fair prices. At first, very few customers came. It was hard work, and the money was small, but they kept focusing on helping people, listening to what customers needed, and improving their service. Slowly, their shop became popular. People trusted them, came back again and again, and recommended the shop to friends. Over time, the business grew. The money followed naturally, but it was never the main goal. The main goal was solving a problem and creating value. By helping others succeed, by giving them good food and service, they succeeded too. This is the principle of giving value. When you help others win, you win as well. Now let's compare two ways of thinking. Some people are selfish. They focus only on what they can take: money, recognition, or power. They try to get rich fast, often at the expense of others. That path may work for a short time, but it rarely lasts. People lose trust, opportunities disappear, and stress grows. Rich people think differently. They focus on creating solutions, serving others, and providing value. The more they help, the more they receive in return: money, respect, and influence. You don't need a big business or a huge team to create value. It starts small. You can help one person today. Maybe a friend needs advice, a neighbor needs a hand, or a coworker struggles with a task. By solving one problem, you build trust, learn skills, and create momentum. One small act of help can grow into something much bigger over time. Think about your talents and knowledge. What can you teach someone today? What skill can you share? What idea can you create that makes life easier, faster, or better for someone else? Every small contribution builds your experience and reputation. Eventually, these small acts of value turn into real success, money, freedom, and satisfaction, because people naturally support those who help them. Here's another story. A person loved technology and knew how to fix computers. Instead of charging high prices immediately, they started helping neighbors and friends for free or very small amounts. People noticed their skill and honesty. Soon, requests increased. Over time, they built a full business, not by chasing money, but by giving value and helping solve problems. That business allowed them freedom, learning, and financial growth, all from serving others. The lesson is simple: focus on value, not on taking. Selfish greed brings stress and temporary gain. Value-driven service brings trust, lasting wealth, and meaningful impact. When you ask yourself, "What problem can I solve today?" you start thinking like a successful person. You stop chasing money, and instead, you create solutions. That shift changes your mindset, your habits, and your results. You can also use small acts of value to practice this principle. Teach a skill you know, write something helpful online, share a useful tip, or volunteer for a cause. Even helping one person makes a difference. The act of giving trains your mind to see opportunities instead of obstacles, to think creatively, and to act with generosity. Over time, the habit of creating value becomes part of who you are. Another important point is that giving value is not only about work or business. You can create value in your relationships, family, or community. Support a friend emotionally, help your family in small ways, or contribute to a project at work. Every act of help strengthens your reputation, your skills, and your mindset. You grow while others grow. Rich people often say that helping others gives a special kind of satisfaction. Money is temporary, and freedom can be lonely, but creating value connects you with people, purpose, and meaning. It creates a cycle. You help others, they support you, and together you all succeed. That is the real wealth that lasts. So, start today. Look around and ask, who needs help? What problem can I solve? Start small. One person, one skill, one idea. Pay attention to the results, but don't obsess over them. Focus on creating value first, and the rewards will follow naturally. Remember the story of the small shop or the young tech expert? Their success was not luck. It was a result of focusing on value first, acting consistently, and helping others grow. They didn't chase money. Money came because they made people's lives better. Creating value also connects all the rules we have discussed so far. Money is a tool. Use it to help. Focus on cash flow. Build systems that support others. Buy time. Use it to create value. Learn before you earn. Education helps you serve better. Play long-term games. Value compounds over time. Build habits. Act consistently. Discipline. Show up every day to help. Mindset. Think of solutions, not problems. All these principles lead to one ultimate rule: serve others and create lasting impact. By focusing on value, you also find deeper satisfaction. Life becomes more meaningful because your success is tied to others' success. You stop comparing yourself to others or chasing short-term pleasures. Instead, you create something real, a legacy of positive change, trust, and growth. When you help, you also learn. Solving problems teaches patience, creativity, and resilience. You meet challenges you could not imagine. You gain experience that money alone cannot buy. And most importantly, you grow as a person. Helping others transforms not only their lives but yours too. As you move forward, remember this simple question every day: how can I create value today? Even small actions matter. Every tip you give, every help you offer, every skill you share builds trust, connection, and success. This is the final step before the reflection of your journey. The moment when you realize that wealth is not just about what you have, but what you give. And now, let's move to the final section, a reflection on all these rules and how applying them can change your life forever. It's time to see the bigger picture and take action for your future. Section 10. Conclusion. The journey to true wealth. We started this journey by asking a simple question: what makes some people rich, not just in money, but in life? We've explored 5 rules that guide the richest people in the world. Now it's time to reflect and see how these rules come together to create a life of freedom, purpose, and real wealth. First, remember that money is a tool, not a god. Too many people worship money, chasing it endlessly, hoping it will fill the emptiness inside. But money alone cannot bring peace or happiness. It is a servant, not a master. Rich people understand this. They use money to buy freedom, to invest in opportunities, and to make life easier, not to show off or impress others. Every dollar spent wisely can give you choices: time with family, experiences you cherish, and the confidence to live without fear. Second, focus on cash flow, not just salary. Earning a high income feels good, but if all your money disappears as quickly as it comes, you are still trapped. Wealth grows when money works for you, when it keeps coming, even when you sleep. Whether it's investing in rental property, a small business, or learning how to create passive income, Thinking in cash flow changes everything. Small daily habits, saving, investing, learning business skills, build streams of income that grow over time. The rich understand that working harder for money is limited, but making money work harder for you is limitless. The third rule is simple, but powerful. Buy time, not things. Life's real currency is time. People often fill their homes with luxury items or chase material possessions, yet they miss the moments that matter most. Rich people use money to free themselves, hiring help, automating tasks, or creating income that doesn't depend on constant labor. This gives them the space to spend time with loved ones, pursue passions, and enjoy life's experiences. Ask yourself before every purchase, will this give me more time or take it away? Choosing time over things is choosing life itself. Next comes learn before you earn. Knowledge is your foundation. Some chase quick success and lose everything because they skip this step. True wealth comes when you understand money, business, and yourself before trying to make it. Education doesn't need to be formal. It's about learning skills, reading books, watching educational videos, and listening to mentors. Every minute you spend learning compounds into the confidence, skill, and insight to make smarter decisions. Remember, if you learn first, success follows. If you chase money first, it runs away. And finally, play long-term games. Real success is a marathon, not a sprint. Patience, consistency, and perseverance are what grow lasting wealth. Small improvements, saving a little, learning a little, improving 1% each day, add up over months and years. Short-term thinking may give quick thrills, but only long-term vision produces security, freedom, and satisfaction. Discipline, mindset, and smart habits all connect here, helping you keep going even when results seem invisible. When we combine all these rules, a picture of true wealth emerges. It is not just numbers in a bank account. Real wealth is freedom to live on your terms, peace in your heart, time to enjoy life, and love that surrounds you. It is the ability to make choices that reflect your values, not your fears. It is the confidence to face challenges because you know your habits, mindset, and patience will carry you forward. Think back to the stories we shared. The small business owner who started with nothing but a vision. The young worker who built skills slowly while others wasted time. The person who saved a single dollar every day and created a foundation for the future. Each story shows that transformation doesn't happen instantly. It happens step by step, decision by decision, habit by habit. Wealth is built quietly, behind the scenes, long before it shows up in the spotlight. This is the most important lesson. You don't need to be born rich to live rich. You don't need luck or privilege to create a life of freedom, peace, and purpose. You just need to think differently, act wisely, and stay patient. Start today. One small step is enough. Read a page of a book, save a little, invest in learning, or help someone in need. Each action compounds. Each choice builds momentum. And remember, success is not just for you. The richest lives are also generous ones. When you create value and help others, you multiply your impact. Your growth benefits the people around you, creating a cycle of trust, respect, and opportunity. Money, time, knowledge, and discipline are more powerful when used to improve lives, not just your own. Take a moment to reflect. Look at your life today. Where can you apply these rules? How can you use money as a tool, Focus on cash flow, buy time, learn first, and think long term. Which small habits can you start today that will lead to big results tomorrow? Even tiny actions repeated consistently will move you closer to the life you dream of. Your journey to true wealth begins with your mindset, your choices, and your habits. There will be challenges, mistakes, and moments of doubt. That is normal. What matters is that you keep moving forward, one small step at a time. Every effort counts, and every day is a chance to grow. So, take these rules, these stories, and this guidance as a map. Start applying them slowly. Learn first, build habits, be disciplined, create value, think long term. And above all, use money and resources wisely to free your time and enrich your life. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. The best time to start is now. Today is the first day of your journey to freedom, purpose, and real wealth. Thank you for watching Read and Learn English. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep believing in yourself. Every small choice you make today shapes the life you will live tomorrow. Your journey has just begun, and the best is yet to come.